It's been a heck of a few days for Yale, which barely made the tournament a week ago, Roy. Obviously, it took a buzzer beater to beat a Brown team that was under 500 in the season.
Well, this Yale team is very exciting to watch. You know, John Paul is like the head of the snake. He had an amazing game last night, but guys like August Mahoney and Matt Knowingly, they can like get some double-figure scoring too. They can lighten the load. But the last game, they attacked Auburn non-stop in the paint. They forced the referee to call 32 fouls. They went to the free throw line 32 times. At the same time, adding in 45% shooting from the three-point line. When I see like upsets like this happen, it's always who wants it more. The team that has like the lower seed, they're obviously trying to impose their will, get out on the fast break, try to rattle their cages here. But Yale did that, and they look pretty good.
Listen, I'm going to focus on James Jones and the job that he's done. People don't understand playing in the Ivy League, playing at that level, how hard it is to recruit that academic kid. Now put yourself in a situation where you're playing in the NCAA tournament against people that have way more talent, more size, more resources, and then you go out and you bust my bracket completely up. So what I'm saying is James Jones is one of those guys I think people should look at for jobs. He's been rumored for jobs. He's done a tremendous job. And I always tell people this, oh, you think you're a really good coach? Can you do it there? Can you do what that guy's done at that place with academic kids, with kids who are not in the top 100, and it's grades first, basketball second, and then you go out and beat Auburn. And now you're playing to San Diego State. Give him credit. He's done it. And listen, it would not surprise me at all. I mean, I love San Diego State, but it would not surprise me if they pulled off this upset today.
Well, Seawalk, as you know from working at high academic institutions, I've talked to coaches who have worked at places like this, and they say you just take the top 300 players in the country and you scratch through about 98% of them because you can't even get them in school. And so your recruiting base is very, very limited. So to ever find yourself on a stage against an SEC school with big-time NIL opportunities and McDonald's All-Americans and all of that stuff, and then succeed is super impressive. But I thought what James said there was very important. He went back to 2016. And sometimes when you're a double-digit seed, somebody who's not supposed to be in the round of 32, you can get really caught up on, okay, we just beat an SEC school, and you lose track of, we've got another one. Duquesne is maybe an example of that. And so for him to say, all right, that's done. Now we got another game in front of us, and though San Diego State is terrific, understand this, Yale just beat a higher-seeded team, a team that is better in all of the computers than the team that they're going to have to play a little later on today. In other words, they don't have to do anything different than what they've already done. They've shown they can win this type of game. They just got to go do it again.
And when you have a guy, to Roy's point, like Polikitis, who can get you 28, go 10 of 15, get hot at the right time, who knows if they could ride him into the Sweet 16. They will. Dutcher has done a fantastic job, obviously, and Ledee, 32 points from role player to All-American guy.
Jane Ledee has been one of the most awesome stories in this college basketball season. Like you said, just a role player on last season's team that made the Final Four and took a massive jump this season. San Diego State, Yale, this is going to be a terrific game. Yale against Auburn, they were facing a top 10 defense. And they'll be facing a top 10 defense again in this one. And what was able to help Yale get past that was, they shot 45% from three in that game, made 9 of them. They're going to have to be unusually good from three again, I think, to maybe get past this because, against Auburn, the 45% was a difference maker on the season. They only shoot 35% from the perimeter. So let's start there. Can Yale be good again from the three-point line? If so, that's at least the first ingredient to a recipe for success.
Yeah, Ledee was great. Parrish and Trammell. I'm still waiting for those two guys to have a breakout game. They've still been having middling, scoring nights, 6 to 10 range. But for me, it's a big litmus test for Yale was the Auburn game. Danny Wolf is going to have to make sure he brings the big man, Danny Wolf for Yale, definitely has to make sure he brings his work shoes tonight because he went against a very good offensive player, one of the most talented, low post players that I know, Broom from Auburn, who can mix you up for sure. But Ledee is a different animal. He is a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot more forceful. Danny Wolf fouled out the other night, 5 fouls. So definitely have to make sure he plays without fouling. He's going to have another hard night. He's going to be the backbone for Yale. So So hopefully he can do it. If not, I think San Diego State's going to get this.
Listen, the question is the energy that it takes to beat an Auburn, right? You have that week to prepare, and then you're going to play a couple of games, but it's that first game you're trying to get past. And now you got to play San Diego State, who played in the championship game last year. I love Jalen Adese from my hometown, know his family very well. It's an unbelievable story. And now, if you're asking me, well, how does Yale beat them? You got to get Jalen D in foul trouble from the start. Now you got Danny Wolf who can pull him out from on the perimeter, and that's what it's going to take. And then the difference between the NBA and college is when I watch the league, every single guy can make a shot. Right? That's what the difference between NBA, to a degree, not you, but every single person can make a shot from 5 feet. I'm just messing with you, big fella. But the bottom line is, and when you play these double-digit seeds or teams like Yale, you can't key, you can get off Lamont Butler. You can't key off of the guys on Yale. And that's how the upsets happens. That's how the goal keys happen. You see them and you're like, there's no way. I'm telling you, man, you sit with those kids, man, there's no way Yale's going to beat us. We're moving on. There's no way. And then you get the game and Golke makes one, makes two, pull a D. I mean, that's how it happens. The next thing you know, you find yourself down with 5 minutes and it's a wrap. And that's how these things happen. But Brian Dutcher is a really good coach. Can't see that happening. The D can't get in foul trouble.